Hello friends, welcome to Inside Second Initiative. In today's video, we are going to discuss about Supreme Court comments on immunity of legislators from bribery charges. Okay, this is the topic we are going to discuss in today's video. First, let us see video components. In video components, first we will try to understand about the context. What is the context? Then, what are the constitutional provisions related to immunities? Okay, mainly parliament privileges to both MPs as well as MLAs. Then we will discuss about Supreme Court various interpretations in different cases. Then, so what is this PV Narasimha Rao case and what was the judgment of Supreme Court? And later, so why that particular judgment referred by the higher bench strength? And finally, we will discuss about the present verdict. First, let me explain about the context. The context is 7-judge bench, which is leading by Chief Justice of India D.V. Chandrachud. They said that, this means the bench said that bribery is not protected by parliamentary privilege. So here main important concept is parliamentary privilege and bribery. First let me explain the concept to you. Okay, the concept of parliamentary privilege. Okay, parliamentary privilege. The concept of parliamentary privilege. Okay, parliamentary privilege. So they are mentioned in Article 105. Article 105. It is related to MPs. Of course, it is related to, MLAs is Article 194. Okay. Regarding MLAs also we call parliamentary privilege. There is no word like assembly privilege. So parliamentary privilege mainly applicable to whom? Mainly applicable to, so Lok Sabha MPs and Rajya Sabha MPs and Attorney General and parliamentary committees. Okay. One question to you, whether the parliamentary privileges are applicable to president or not. Okay. So for these people, parliamentary privileges are applicable. That means whoever the people, okay, they can speak in the parliament. For all those people, parliamentary privileges are applicable. By the way, what are these parliamentary privileges? Okay, parliamentary privileges are special rights given to MPs. Why they require the special rights? Because Constitution ensured that MPs, they should allow to work very freely. Okay, they should allow to work freely and they should be able to express their opinion without any fear. That means they require certain protection. That protection is manifested in the form of parliamentary privilege. Constitution clearly mentioned that Parliament is empowered to make laws on the parliamentary privilege. That means Parliament can make law on the parliamentary privilege. So parliamentary privileges are normally, so privilege, okay, privilege means special right. Okay, parliamentary privileges are normally two types. Parliamentary privileges, okay, two types. What are they? Individual, okay, and collective. So collective privilege, and the second one is the individual privilege. Okay, what are the collective privilege? Collective privilege means privileges that are applicable to entire house. What are the collective privileges? Number one, house has the right to know about members arrest, members detention and members release from the jail. So all such kind of information, okay, should be given to the house. And the second one is house can prohibit some information from publishing in the media, but in case if that information is related to public use or public interest, then media can publish. This caveat, this exception is added through 44th Constitution Amendment Act 1978. Then within the surroundings of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, anyone, okay, not only the MPs, no one can be arrested without taking the permission from the presiding officer of that particular house. That is also the parliamentary privilege. And house can even, they can assemble for a secret sitting as well on certain sensitive matters. So all these are the parliamentary privilege in collective manner. Next, there will be individual parliamentary privileges also. What are these individual parliamentary privilege? Number one, okay, whatever MPs speak and so to whichever they vote, this cannot be questioned in the court. Very important, remember this. Actually, this is the central idea of today's video. Okay, MPs, whatever they speak in the house and whichever the way they vote, that cannot be questioned in the court. Of course, it can be questioned by the party. Okay, if it is open ballot, but it cannot be questioned in the court. And when parliament meetings are going on 40 days before and 40 days after the sessions of parliament, MPs cannot be arrested under civil case. Of course, they can be arrested under criminal case, but not civil case. And when parliament sessions are going on, they cannot be called by any court to give any witness. Okay, they can so exempt from any court hearing. This is also the individual privilege related to, individual privilege related to parliament privilege. Okay, in this way, there are individual privilege and there are collective privilege. Now the point is related to PV Narasimha Rao case, and of course that case recently been examined and it is forwarded to higher bench. What is this PV Narasimha Rao case? Let me explain. Okay, so this is so far we discussed. Let me explain about the PV Narasimha Rao case. Okay, PV Narasimha Rao case. PV Narasimha Rao case. Okay, so what is this PV Narasimha Rao case? You know that PV Narasimha Rao government, they did not have complete, simple majority, that means absolute majority in the parliament. That means they did not have 273 seats. That means they don't have any magic number. So PV Narasimha Rao government was in minority government. That means without any magic number. But opposition parties, different parties, they spread seats among themselves. So no opposition party was able to introduce no confidence motion. That is the reason PV Narasimha Rao government continued as a minority government. So when PV Narasimha Rao government faced no confidence motion at one point of time, no confidence motion, Congress required support to defeat the no confidence motion. You know that no confidence motion can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha, and if this is passed, then obviously government will resign. If it is defeated, then government will continue. To defeat this no confidence motion, okay, Congress sought the support of JMM. They sought the support of Jharkhand Mukti Morcha. In this particular request, certain amount of the money, bribe given to JMM. Okay, by taking bribe, few MLAs voted in favor of Congress, and one MLA abstained from voting. That means he did not participate in the voting. The surprising thing is later when this bribe is discovered, when the prosecution happened, court punished only this person. Okay, whoever did not vote it, this person was punished. Okay, the person voted in the parliament did not punish because he voted. His action is related to parliament. Okay, when his action is related to parliament, that means he will get the individual immunity. He will get the parliamentary immunity. So he did not question. That means even though he took the bribe, he did not get punishment because that activity is related to parliament voting. That kind of immunity enjoyed by these people, and the person who took the money, but his action, the end result is not related to parliament voting or anything related to parliament, so he got punished. So this immunity was questioned by the Supreme Court recently. Okay, this immunity being examined. This immunity examined by the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court observed that. Okay, Supreme Court observed that the main purpose of this immunity is to promote the democracy, but not to promote the bribery. So this parliamentary privilege, okay, parliamentary privileges are not applicable to bribery cases. Not applicable to bribery cases. Very, very important. That means these should not be misused. That is the main purpose here. That is today's Supreme Court verdict. I hope you understood this entire concept. Now let's see the notes. Already we discussed about the context of this particular news and what are the meaning of privilege and immunities. Privileges are applicable to Attorney General, and who are the other people will enjoy the privileges. We already discussed. Article 105, Article 194 both deals with the privileges. Then these privileges are similar to right to freedom of speech and expression, which were given in the Article 19. But the difference is Article 19 is applicable to entire Indian citizens, whereas parliamentary privileges are applicable only to MPs. That is the main difference. Okay, and the main purpose of the parliamentary privilege is to protect the honor, dignity and freedom of speech of the MPs. Next, in the PV Narasimha Rao case 1998, by using Article 105, even though MPs who took the bribe, they took the shelter under this parliamentary privilege. Okay, so Supreme Court, they they did not punish, but now Supreme Court reversed the decision, and Supreme Court is clearly mentioning that even though an MP is taking bribe, if that action is related to parliament also, those people are punishable, because according to Keshava Singh case, Supreme Court mentioned that any procedure regarding the parliament is the final one to interpret. In case if there is a lack of clarity in the parliament, Supreme Court is going to be the final authority in interpreting a particular thing. Supreme Court referring PV Narasimha Rao case to larger bench, and today the larger bench given the judgment. Okay. Next, so yesterday's video question, exercise Samudra Lakshmana is conducted between India and which country? India and Malaysia. Consider the following statement with reference to nano urea. It is a nanotechnology based revolutionary agriculture input that provide nitrogen to plants, right? It is developed and patented by the Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperative Limited, right? Vikramaditya Vedic clock recently seen in the news is located in which one of the following cities? It is present in the Ujjain. Okay. Now, which of the following statements best describe the term juice jacking? It is a form of cyber attack that involves tampering with public USB charging ports. Okay, even regarding this, RBI also issued a circulation. Consider the following statement with reference to International Big Cat Alliance. This is also yesterday's question. It is an initiative of the International Union for the Conservation of Nature. No, it aims at the conservation of snow leopard, jaguar, puma and some other, of course. These are regarding the big cats. Now today's video question is, which of the following are true? The Constitution of India does not mention parliamentary privilege specially in any article. There may be contempt of house without committing a breach of privilege. Okay, so out of these two statements, which one is the right one? Main question, without parliamentary privileges, MPs cannot discharge their functions as entrusted upon them by the Constitution. That means, for performing the duties by the MPs, parliamentary privileges are essential. Discuss. This is today's main question. Now, as we reach to the end of this video, in this particular video, we discussed about parliamentary privilege. And so, what are these parliamentary privilege, collective privilege and individual privilege in detail we discussed. We also discussed about PV Narasimha Rao case and what are the Supreme Court observations in this case, then as well as now. So, finally, in today's class, we discussed about Supreme Court judgment that bribery, okay, an MP or MLA, they cannot take rescue from bribery by quoting the parliamentary privilege. That is the ultimate judgment of the Supreme Court. This is the detailed analysis regarding the Supreme Court comments on no immunity by taking MPs and MLAs. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day. Jai Hind.